So what were your findings from the activity? Which activity increased your heart rate the most? Well, it might have varied depending on how you did your jumping jacks and how you did your high knees, but I'm guessing one of those two raised your heart rate a lot more than when you were just sitting in front of a screen. Getting exercise is important for our health in many ways. Does anybody know what the name of the exercise that makes us breathe hard? Those exercises you just did when we start to have to breathe heavy and our heart rate goes up, does anybody know what kind of exercise we call that? Well, it's called aerobic exercise, and you maybe heard the word aerobic before. There's a clue in the word aerobic that can help us figure out what it means. Does anybody know what aero means? Well, it means air. So air aerobics require air and oxygen. That's why we have to breathe harder. Aerobic exercise is usually something that we sustain for a short period of time. It's not quick like a sprint, but it's something that we sustain and requires our body to create more oxygen, which means our heart has to beat faster, and that is good for our heart, as we've learned. What do you think would happen if you did aerobic exercise every day? What would happen to your resting heart rate? Well, it would go down, and that's a good thing. If your heart has to work less to give you the same results, that means your heart is going to last longer and it's going to be healthier throughout your life. So I have a question for you. What weighs more, 5 pounds of muscle or 5 pounds of fat? Well, hopefully you caught that that's a trick question. 5 pounds and 5 pounds, they both weigh the same. But what would 5 pounds of muscle look like compared to 5 pounds of fat? Well, I have some really great models here to show you. This model represents and looks like 5 pounds of muscle, and it weighs 5 pounds. And as you can see, you can tell by its size that it fits right in the palm of my hand. This is what 5 pounds of fat looks like. This also weighs 5 pounds. If you were to just look at these side by side, you'd be very shocked to believe they actually weigh the same. But what does this tell us? Well, when we become more fit and we strengthen our heart and other muscles, muscles grow. So therefore we increase our lean body mass, which is a good thing. So oftentimes as we get more fit and we build more muscle, we may gain some weight. And this is a really positive weight to gain. On the other hand, while we build muscle, we often decrease how much fat is in our body. As you can see, the fat takes up a lot of space, and this is extra storage that we probably don't need. Keep in mind that they both weigh 5 pounds. And so if we want to gain weight, we want to build muscle. It takes up less space, and it's more functional for our body. But take another look. 5 pounds of muscle, 5 pounds of fat. Well, we've come to the end of this lesson. As always, we would like to ask you, what did you learn from this lesson that you would maybe share with someone else? Maybe you learned that the heart was a muscle and that we can strengthen it by making it beat faster through physical activity. But if you learned something impactful, please share it with someone else. It's a great way to reinforce your own knowledge. Back in lesson 1, we talked about what the 5 PHS goals were. Hopefully you remembered those. But do you remember which of those goals really applied to today's lesson? Well, one of our goals here at PHS is to get 60 minutes of activity, physical activity, every day. And that's really, really important to us. And I'm hoping that today's lesson helped you learn how important it is as well. I look forward to working with you in the next lesson. Have a great day.